Welcome to my tour of Hangman's Alley in Fallout 4. This is actually my first Fallout video. And read the description for some background about how I did this and why. But the basics is that I tried mimicking a build from a user named SarDeliac on YouTube who has some really good build videos. So check those out. I'll put the link in the description. So you come in here, it's our first big dirt area, so this is where the garden is. And then over here we have the medium-sized generator tucked into the generator hut and in the water pump here. Since this was my first real building project, I learned a lot at like how to glitch wires through walls and things like that, so doing this build was a real good learning experience. So in addition to the farm, we've got the farmer's quarters here. It's not much, but it's enough for the farmer. And then you go through here, you see Deacon working the water pump back there. And this structure is a two-story structure, mostly for the doctor and the clinic. This is the only part of the build that really bothers me, is this gap right here, but I can't figure out how to fix it, so I'm just leaving it the way it is. So in here is basically a clinic. We've got our Kim's workshop. I learned how to put a bed on top of a table when I did this build, so that was fun. So the doctor can work on people there.
Should let me take a look at you.
Nope, don't need anything right now, Doc. But there she is at her her doctor clinic table with a patient chair. And then if you sneak back here, you have access to her quarters up here. She's got a sitting area for friends, dresser, etc. This balcony out here is different than SarDeliac made it. I can't remember quite what he did. I just remember that I couldn't get it to work. So this ended up being how I compromised. It's just this little balcony. So this corridor here leads you down into the main part of Hangman's. You can see the clinic is glitched into a like a wooden shack cap. So I learned how to do that for this. That was fun. Up here's the security catwalk. We'll go up there and see our guards in a moment. To the left here, this door is something that I could not figure out. SarDeliac had put a door here with signs to the bathrooms, and I could not get a door to build in here, so I just left it. This is the weapons store.
You know what I call a good day? One that ends without an empty stomach.
Yeah, no me. So the weapons store is glitched into a barn wall, which I think ended up looking really nice. The only real flaw about this build is that sometimes if you are trying to get in here, a character will be standing in that doorway. You literally cannot get in or out. So the weapons workshop here, we've got the storefront, the workbench, it's a place to store tools, got some random power armor just hanging around. And then through this concrete
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
We've got the original workshop, another weapons workbench, and then this is where the weapons person sleeps and has their locker of storage. SarDeliac had used a rounded concrete cap there, and I couldn't get that to work either, so I ended up just using wooden walls that are half walls. Alright, now you get a good shot of the all-important bar, and this structure is mostly metal. Go around in here. You see that that's where he lives. Pretty simple. I don't have the issue of picket fences yet that allows me to build indoor houseplants, but when I get that I'll come back in here and decorate a little bit more. So the bookshelf sort of separates his sleeping area from his living room. There is a sleeping bag embedded in that couch, which counts for another bed in the settlement, which is always helpful. And then above the bar is where our defense is located. So I had to use a wooden ladder here, stairway, because I could not get shack steps to curve up this building. If you look at SarDeliac's build, he has this really cool curved stairway, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to work. But up here, this is where the two guards live. I've done some initial decorating. They've got their own workbench. And then out here, the catwalk is where they do their job. So they've got a couple of guard stations, a couple of patio chairs to hang out in.
Spy on me.
And then we've got these two turrets to protect the courtyard, because enemies sometimes come into the courtyard, and when they do, they just get nailed by these turrets, which is great. So this existing building, I can't do much with it, but SarDeliac had made it a Nuka-Cola store by putting Nuka-Cola decorations, and he had embedded a nice red door there to make it look like an actual shop. And again, I could not get the door to go in there no matter what I did, so I just put some lights on there and some lighted posters, and I left it. So that is a storage shack, which we'll get into. Go through this way. Here's our general store. It's glitched into a what's a junk fence gate, something like that. You go back in here.
As honest work gets.
You can see the general store. I should probably put a light in here because it's a little gloomy, but she's got an ice machine. She's got her little sitting area back here during breaks, and then a place to call her own with her foot locker, some decorations. I think she probably scavenged that liquor sign because I'm not sure she sells liquor. There's her desk. So up and around here, this takes us up to that existing platform, and there's another living area up here. I don't really know who lives here, but somebody. I gotta get that light working. And then, like I said, the storage area right here. So you can throw some boxes in here, or any other kind of storage containers. And that is pretty much Hangman's Alley.